Hello and welcome in another episode in which we compare GTM4WP with its alternatives. We are trying to find out if GTM4WP is still the best option in 2025 for everyone, or maybe there are some better suited alternatives. In this episode, we are taking a look at PixelYourSite. Let's go. The user interface of PixelYourSite is actually a pretty challenging thing to review objectively. Why? Because for me personally, so subjectively speaking, it's very chaotic and I did not find it usable for me or easy to use and easy to understand. And only after watching some videos provided by the author and going to its documentation, I was able to find a menu that's in here. So there are actually several menus. There's one over here, there's one over here, there's one over here, and there are also some additional menus here or additional options which are hidden under a list of YouTube videos. So for me, it was difficult. Now, when it comes to features, PixelYourSite, even in the free version, is packed with them. So now let's take a look at what we have. I'll describe them very generally because there are a lot of them. So here we can push to the data layer and a lot of actions or information about actions that users take on a site, like for example submitting forms, signing up, logging in, downloading stuff, commenting, things like that. Additionally, we have GTM tag settings here that allow us to set up server GTM, which is something that advanced GTM users and advanced marketers may like. And surprisingly, we have some settings for security. Why am I saying surprisingly? Because I did not know about the existence of these settings here while I was reviewing GTM4WP that you can find on YouTube as well. In that video, I said that GTM4WP is actually the only one that has security settings. And what are these security settings? They simply allow you to control what tags, what variables and triggers can be used by GTM, why you might want to use them. In most cases, it's not very useful unless you give access to GTM to a party that you don't trust. But this is something that, well, you shouldn't be doing. So yeah, but it's still there. Now, there are some extra events that you can send to PixelYourSite or to the data layer, I'm sorry. And these are based on the URL that a person visits or the scroll depth. For me, these don't seem very useful since GTM can do the same, but yes, they are here, right? And next we have some WooCommerce settings here with quite a lot of events that we can track inside PixelYourSite: purchases, checkouts, additions to carts, product pages, etc. And also we can set up when we want to fire add to cart button, which is a nice thing. And we can what's that? ID settings. How to treat variable products. Okay, that's yeah. Okay, so this is it. Cart flow settings are unavailable in the free version, and here we also have some consent management settings. PixelYourSite in the Pro version, it comes with Consent Magic extension, which is its own consent banner. However, if you don't want to use it, there are some settings for other tools like CookieBot, Cookie Notice, Cookie Yes, and Real Cookie Banner. Unfortunately, I haven't found here any specific settings for the consent mode itself, which might be useful if you wanted to use even different consent management platforms. But well, here there are 4 that are quite popular, so you may be lucky with and have one of these. And now let's take a look at how all these features will work on a live website. Now let me just refresh this page and take a look at the events here. So first we have consent defaults, and they are set to granted, something that shouldn't be set in the European Union until visitors make their choice in a consent banner. But I think, I hope at least, yes, that by using different consent banners, these values will be set to denied before the consent. But I don't know, I have no way to test it because I'm not using those CMPs. Out of curiosity, I decided to check how consents are set on PixelYourSite's own website. And I found out something interesting, so I decided to add some extra footage to the video. So let's go to PixelYourSite. And here I have an extension for Chrome which shows me which consents are given by default. And interestingly, analytics storage is granted, meaning that PixelYourSite's own website is breaking GDPR and privacy regulations of like 60 countries by setting it without users' permission, because this also means that your analytics tools are allowed to track you. And here in the options, analytics section is enabled by default, which also shouldn't be done. And now I'm wondering, because I'm not a user of PixelYourSite Pro, which comes with this banner here. However, if any of you is using PixelYourSite Pro, please let us know in the comments what is the default state for consents set in this module. It would be really interesting to find out whether some of them are enabled from the start. Okay, so let's go back to the video. Now we have consent initialization, so it's again repeated the current state, and we have some additional information about the page that we are visiting. So here we had information like page title, page type, post ID. They are all pushed to the data layer. That's nice. Now let's take a look at our store. Okay. So we visited our category page. However, there are no view list item events being sent to the data layer. So we don't know which of these product teasers were actually seen. So there is no event for that. Now let's add something to the cart and let's see what data is available there. We have add to cart event. E-commerce values are actually not very useful because we don't have information about the ID of the product that was clicked, which is super important for advertising purposes, especially for marketing. Without this information, all marketing platforms won't be able to know what products were previously seen by a person, by a visitor. So we are missing, well, actually quite a lot of information here. We don't have a product title, we don't have category, product category, we don't have stock keeping unit, we don't have this information. But let's take a look at other products here and how they are tracked. So here we have a variable product and we have a view item event here, which is good. There is a little bit more information. So we have item ID this time, which is nice. However, we don't have stock keeping unit. Maybe there is a way to switch item ID for stock keeping unit. I don't know, but it's not here. Now let's maybe switch it. And unfortunately, we don't have a additional view item event here. Maybe we'll be able to turn it on in the settings. Now let's take a look at our grouped product, and we have it here, logo collection. And as you know, GTM4WP had problems with tracking group products added to cart. So let's see how it works here. Okay, so we have add to cart here with no information about these products whatsoever. Interestingly, I noticed that this add to cart event was not triggered on the previous page view, but on the next page view. Okay. Because we are not clicking add to cart basket on this page previously, before it was refreshed. Okay, so now let's see the cart. Will removing from cart be tracked? Nope, it's not. Let's go to the basket and let's click remove item here. No, still not tracked. Let's increase the number of items. No, not tracked as well. And let's proceed to checkout. Okay, so we have begin checkout event here. All right, everything seems in order. And let's place an order here. Okay, and we have purchase. Okay, so we have our item with the correct ID, which is good, with the item category, which is good, but we don't have information on the user that actually made, or the client that made the purchase. So there is no way to enable advanced conversion tracking in tools like Google Analytics, Metapixel, and other, or Google Ads, or other advertising tools. So if this is something you're looking for, then you should definitely go to GTM4WP rather than use PixelYourSite. Okay, so this is how it works. Now let's sum it up. So after what we've seen, PixelYourSite in the free version, it's a mixed bag. It has a pretty complicated user interface, however, with a lot of features. These features are very useful for most of the sites that are not WooCommerce based, because when it comes to WooCommerce territory, GTM4WP is a much better option. It can simply track more data and more events. Which one will be better for you? Well, it's for you to decide. For me, in the GTM department, PixelYourSite is a worse option than GTM4WP. However, it is not the only alternative to GTM4WP. There are several more that I will be reviewing in the future. If you can't wait to learn what they are and how they compare with the GTM4WP, please take a look at the article that I published on my website, wpfullpicture.com. Where I compare GTM4WP with 7 of its competitors. And this is it for this video. Thank you and have a great day.